Hello and welcome to 925 and Thriving. It's a fresh episode and I'm super excited that you have joined us today. Today we're going to be talking about 10 things that are keeping you from getting promoted in your job, or 10 things that could have been keeping you, you're just not aware of. In the bustling landscape of the modern day workplace, climbing the corporate ladder sometimes can feel very elusive. Despite our desperate and best effort to get on this path of promotion, sometimes it could just feel very challenging and frustrating. And sometimes it's not even clear what it can do in our progress. I think that understanding and identifying these roadblocks is the first step towards overcoming them. So, welcome to this episode as we talk about 10 things that could be keeping you from getting your next promotion. And if it's useful to you, please hit the like button, subscribe, so that the algorithm is able to share with other people. The first thing is lack of initiative. I mean, you hear in some companies, they say things like, you did not go above and beyond. Um, I remember one time a friend was telling me, working in a multinational, this person was based in Latin America. And the feedback kept coming that you just do the basic. Now, what does it mean to just do the basic? In this particular person's profession, this person was an IT auditor. Okay. Auditors have a work program that is given to them. And so technically what happened is apparently this person just takes the work program as a goal, execute, and comes back. Now you must understand that the workplace is a competitive environment because the question is, well, what did he do wrong? That's his job. Another person, on the other hand, put the same work program before going to execute, went to do some research, improved on the work program, made it feel more technical and relevant thing and more bespoke to this particular auditee. And guess what? That person was seen to be going above and beyond. So not taking initiative is one of the reasons why people do not get promoted in the workplace. The next is poor communication. When I was in business school, I was told that communication happens when your intended objective is the perceived objective of the person you are speaking with. So if my intended meaning for whatever it is that I am doing is not your perceived meaning, the moment I have finished talking to you about what I do, then I have not communicated. And many times this is a challenge for very technical people because they're not able to effectively break down exactly what it is they have done, but that people who are not technical can be able to assimilate that value, articulate it, and appropriate it in the context of the organization to say, oh my God, you've done a lot. And so you see people getting frustrated because they feel like they have communicated what they did, but the senior executives do not understand exactly what that is. So improving on your communication skills, especially if you're a technical person, is extremely important. I remember one time, uh, my colleague well, a friend of mine worked in a place where, you know, she had two very, very intelligent senior managers who were sort of going for partnership. And it almost looked like there was nothing to separate the two, and the firm could only make one person a partner. Now, the only thing we eventually found out was one of them was just really very good at communicating what this individual would do. Okay. It didn't mean he was smarter than the other person, but when it came to communicating, if you had not seen the output of their work, you would think that he was 20 times better than the other individual. But it was just that he was just able to communicate it a lot better. So improve on your communication skill. The next thing is resistance to change. I think that in the post-COVID world, we have not been as much disruption as we have been in the last 4 years. The disruption in the last 4 years have just been extremely something to write about. They've just been on another level. And I think that being resistant or slow to adapt to these new changes that have come about, artificial intelligence, the use of technology, cloud computing, I think that it's going to keep people in their same position for a long time. Many organizations now are going through what they call digital transformations. And the whole point is how can we leverage technology a lot more to improve our operations, okay? So being resistant to change, to automating the way we do things. There's a lot of call now for how can we make things we do a lot more efficient? How can we leverage technology to cut out waste? And so anyone who is going to be resistant to such changes, especially if it's in line with the strategic objectives of the company, you will have issues with promotion. And this is probably one reason why you have not been promoted. Another one is having a latent skill set, not developing or updating your skill relevant to the job. I always say this to my mentees. If you were given a task last year and you're given the same task this year, and the way the first 2, 3 steps you take are the exact same you took last year, you genuinely have not grown. It means that you have not probably found a way to leverage technology to do what you do, leverage new technology that has come out to be able to do what it is you do. Fundamentally, just having a limited skill mindset. And what that does is it shows your employer, it shows your line manager that you are not improving. You must understand that there are two types of communication, okay? There's intended communication, like I'm trying to communicate this to you, and there's the unintended one. Like I don't even know that I am communicating that my skill set is limited. And so you find out sometimes that certain tasks that were given to you, the moment they get given to another person, they are performed quicker, faster, and all of a sudden it opens your line manager to the point that, oh my God, this could actually have been done a lot faster. So improve on your skill sets. The next will be negative attitude. And I think that this one does not even need a lot of explanation. We all know in the workplace that people who are constantly displaying negativity or uncooperative attitude to work did not get promoted. The workplace in this century is no longer just about the technical skills. It's really about how you fit with the team, how you're able to support your colleagues. When your colleague gets promoted, how do you think with them? If your colleague is sent on the training and you are not sent on the same training, are you able to show some sort of support with them, or are you simply trying to be negative? One of the things that you would ensure that that help me in seasons like this is simply to have an open mind and just think, what if it was me? If this was me, I would actually say, okay, I would show cooperation and support for the hour. So I think that having a negative attitude is probably one that consistently has not helped. The next is lack of networking. So failing to be professional relationship. A lot of times people talk about building strong professional relationship when you are going for events, to industry events, networking events. That is true, but that's not the entire picture of building network. I think it's also important to network in the company. Many times, if you're not able to network in the company, absolutely no one is there to talk for you. I remember several years ago, one of the things I was able to do, I learned very early, was how to network across the company and be able to speak to different senior managers just for them to know what I do and how I do what I do. And there was an opportunity to go. At this time, I was somewhere in Africa, and there was an opportunity to go do something in Amsterdam. And the particular person who I was working with was having a very, very funny mindset about, oh, this is this is how I think you should go for this. I don't think that you are mature enough to go for this particular engagement. And I just sat back and I was a bit frustrated. I went to speak to another senior manager who, had been openly monitoring my progress and said, oh, no, I think you can do it. I don't know, to go for the particular meeting with all the senior managers to come back. And I hear, okay, you're good to go. Question. If I ain't happy relationship with that particular person, I don't think that just relying on my line manager would have been able to get me to where I needed to get to, because that opportunity was one of the things that actually shaped my career on an international stage. So I think networking internally is also extremely important. One of the other things that could be keeping you from getting promoted is inconsistency in your performance. Being unreliable or inconsistent in your job performance. I worked in a company and, you know, you actually don't even know how consistency or inconsistency could affect what you do. So, work in a company, and I was asking when I joined, I noticed that a particular person, that they had not been promoted in 3 years. And so I had to go ask the land manager, like, why had the person not been promoted? That was when I found out that the policy says it's not just that you've been in a role in 3 years that you get promoted, it's that you have consistently within those 3 years exceeded expectation. So, had the person done great? Yeah. Had the person exceeded expectation consistently within these 3 years? No. And so the question was, um, what were your grades in the last, what was your appraisal figure in the last 3 years? Uh, and that's kind of where the cookie crumbled, wasn't it? The person had not shown consistency. So one reason why you probably are not getting promoted is a lack of consistency. Another one is avoiding feedback. And in the modern workplace, feedback, you don't wait for feedback. You have to proactively ask for feedback, especially if you work in an organization where you have appraisals at the end of the year, and that is the only time your manager gets to speak with you about your performance. What you don't want is to be surprised at the end of the year and say, oh my God, I didn't know about this thing. You should have told me about them. Well, now you kind of need to take responsibility for your career. But also remember that your line manager also is reporting to someone and also has all the responsibilities. So ask for constant feedback. That way you are able to adjust behavior. You are able to adjust deliverables. You're able to adjust output before it is year end, where the result would actually decide whether or not you get promoted. The next one is the lack of visibility, not making your achievements and contributions known to leadership. So you hear things like, do not blow your own trumpet. Well, that kind of does not work in the present workplace. You need to blow your own trumpet because genuinely it's going to blow it for you. There was a time where that could in our humility and just do your work and be quiet about it. But in this century, you need to make a bit of noise, especially when you do outstanding work. And it's one of the challenges of technical people. Technical people are not able to really speak out about what they do. And then you see people who are not in the technical field really talking about what they do in the same company. And the technical people will get upset, like, hey, if we don't do what we do to support what they do, you're never going to achieve your objective. Well, then learn to also be visible enough to speak about what it is you do. Okay. Communicate to senior management in non-technical terms. This is the value that I'm bringing to what I do, and this is how it supports the company objective. Which brings me to the very last point. Ensure that you are aligned with the company goals. One of the mistakes that keep people being promoted is they do not align with the company goals. They do not align with the company goals. One question to ask yourself is, how does what I do align with the objectives of the company? And if the answer to that is, I actually don't know, I cannot put a direct line between what I do and the bottom line of the company. Well, that's always why you're not getting promoted. Because one of the rules for every organization is if you are not adding to the bottom line, why do you need to keep moving up? Reaching the next level in your career requires more than just hard work, right? It requires dedication, self-awareness, adaptability, and a proactive approach to your personal development. I hope that you found this helpful. Let us know if you need further assistance, and see you at the next episode of 9 to 5 and 5.